Hey guys and gals and everybody who else is tuning in. Welcome back to Tuesday Tips and Tricks at 2 for Be So Creative. I'm Sandy. Thank you for tuning in. Today, let me show you what we've got going on here. First, we're going to point out what I've got on my table, and then I'll show you what we're doing with it. Is it apricot preserves? No. No, this would be liquid starch. So, we're going to set it aside for a minute. Then I'm going to point out with my handy dandy pointer.
Look at that thing.
Woo! The finger stiletto, as introduced to some in the Swan Sheridan class. It's going to be a fun tool I'm going to show you today. We're also going to work with the Perfect Circles by Karen K. Buckley. Look at all of these fun sizes they come in, plus also this handy dandy ring, so that when it's really yours, you can put everything away on this nice little ring and find everything you're looking for. Pretty cool. I have a set of these I've been using forever. We're going to set them aside. And I'm going to show you also from Karen K. Buckley these nice little scissors. These guys have a micro serrated edge on them, and one of the fun things, you watch while I'm cutting with them, about the micro serration is instead of pushing the fabric, it grips it and cuts it so it doesn't go places. So I get the shape I actually meant instead of the shape the scissors pushed me into. Rude non-micro serrated scissors that push me into things. We also are going to be using the Frisian pens by Pilot. It's a favorite around here for use on for marking fabric, and we've got a bunch of different colors because if I were to write on this background with the black, I would never be able to see it, but I have hope in some of the other colors. We will be using the black one today, which I'll show you more of. We've got some Q-tips and or paintbrush, which we're going to use the paintbrush because it's my favorite. We are going to be using some Reynolds freezer paper. That's right, the kitchen staple that every quilter should have in her sewing room, or his sewing room, because you know, it's a non-gender tool. We also have a little bit of rickrack. Rickrack is just going to be for fun. And then everybody needs to help me remember, we are going to clean our iron at the end of this. Look at this thing. Ooh. Okay, here we go. So, imagine with me, if you will, that this beautiful piece of fabric is becoming a Christmas tree pillow, because it is. Later on, I'll get it shaped up in Christmas tree shape, but I'm starting backwards by beginning with ornaments, ending with a tree. And this is going to be my really fun garland that's going to twist back and forth on the tree. Can you just imagine it so twinkly cute? Everybody say, aww. Aww. Okay, thanks. All right. What I wanted to show you today was the turning technique using the really cool stiletto and our liquid starch, which is not apricot jam. Delicious as it is, don't eat this. Okay. Using the circles, I chose at random some circles that were going to serve me well for ornaments on my pretend Christmas tree that I will have before we are done. And as you can tell, I've drawn the line around it on this one already. When placing my really handy dandy circle, I can just hang on to it while I draw my line around. I want to make sure that I'm giving myself somewhere between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch around it. And like I said, I really do like these Karen K. Buckley circles. One, because of the hole in the middle, so that I can put them on the ring, but also if I were to use the thread pull technique like you do with yo-yos, which is one of the options with these, you can stitch a basting stitch around the outside of this and pull it up and it gathers like a yo-yo. And this little hole in the center allows for that lump to form without actually displacing the circle. But today we're going to learn the starch and turn technique of applique. I like to use this method when I'm doing handwork, but you could also use it on the sewing machine to make sure that you've got the clean edge. So I've got my 2 circles and my really cool scissors. You guys remember, you're watching to see if I'm pushed around or if I get to control it because of the micro serrated edge. I'm going to give myself and even. Look, it's not going anywhere. Everybody say, ooh. Ooh, okay, as we go all the way around. So, okay, that last little thing, I was paying more attention to you guys than I was to me, which is funny because you're not even here. Anyway, so we're going to cut it again, and I'm going to give myself a little more room because that other one, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to show you how we do it, but it's nicer to have a little bit more to grab. Okay, but you see, these scissors are not pushing me around. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, set that aside. And here I have some other ornaments that I'll work up later. So for right now, we're going to put that circle back in there. And we're going to get our Christmas tree out of the way. Singing is a very important part of quilting. Your fabric won't know what you're doing if you don't hum a little. Or maybe yours does, but mine doesn't. Okay, so there we go. Now my really cool little stiletto tool is going to help me not burn my fingers off. Welcome to the hot iron. Okay, that guy goes right there. And here I have my liquid starch and my cool paintbrush. I'm going to dab it in, wipe off the excess a bit, and I'm just going to paint around the whole thing. And you can see the color change and the saturation happening. And I like to get mine plenty soggy, which also means from time to time I do have to wash my ironing board because guess what, guys? It's starch. All right, so that gets held in place, and I'm going to pull this straight into the center. Now let's see if we can figure out how to get the iron in there as well. Okay, this guy gets pulled straight to the center, and I just touch it with the tip of the iron, navigating, being out of Becky's way, who's doing a great job filming. Okay, and I'm just going to set that there. Then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to lift this straight into the center. Please note that's making this little peak thing happen here, so I'm going to pull it down too and move my iron over. Then once I've got it started, I can just push the fabric in under the tip of the iron like so. Ta-da! And work my way all the way around.
You want to tell them what temp you have your iron on?
I have my iron on number 3, which basically just means it's hot enough to dry the starch quickly enough that I don't get bored. But not so hot that I'm burning my fabric, because burnt fabric is sad. It makes you want to cry. It's as bad as burnt bread. Okay, so I can tuck it under there and see how my fingers, whoops, how my fingers are staying safely out of the way. So this really soft, spongy ironing mat is allowing me to do a secret trick of putting this under the iron instead of the other way around. But don't do that forever. Like if you're going to do a million of these, you do have to move your iron or you will burn your board. Ask me how I know. Okay, so I don't know if you can really see over here, but I just keep grabbing the points and tucking them under until I can get everything under. Now, once I've got everything settled that way, I'm going to flip it over. Okay, I want you guys to notice this hard little point that I've got right there. That is because I'm thinking more about you guys than about what I'm doing. Once upon a time, I had a great guy tell me that if I wanted to hit the nail on the head every time, I had to think about the hammer and the nail. And then I would hit it every time and it would go in straight. The same rules apply for when you're doing stiletto work with your iron. So we're gonna let this pass for now, but if I was doing this at home, then I would re-wet it and open this back up again. In fact, let's just do it. You guys want to know how to do it right? Okay. So re-wet it. Then I'm going to open that. Now see how it's laying perfectly flat? And I'm going to put my tip of the iron right there and scoot it in. That is going to give me the much better smooth edge that I really want. I'll just slow down and take the time it takes to do a good job. There we go. Much better. If my mat was not quite so spongy, which my board at home is not, then I wouldn't be able to tuck it in under the iron, and I'd actually have to move the iron. But that would be harder filming for Becky. So with my little Karen K Buckley circles still in there, I'm going to just go ahead and press that thing. That's going to give me a really sharp crease. We're going to pull it out. Pull the circle out, and then I can tuck it onto my Christmas tree as my first ornament. And if I am using my Bernina, I can do my buttonhole stitch all the way around, or I can do my zigzag, or maybe one of those little fun decorative stitches to secure that guy. But I also wanted you to see how you would work it if it wasn't a circle, because this is a fun tool. So what I have here is my Sharpied version of a star on 2 layers of freezer paper. I like the second layer of freezer paper because it gives me just a little bit more body. So I take here's my freezer paper, and I say, stack it right on top, put the iron on there for just a second. Now I can draw whatever it is that I want to draw. This is going to be, okay, it doesn't want to draw where it's hot. Oh, that's right, because it's a heat erasing pen. Good joke.
How about a pencil?
A pencil will do it. Okay, so we're gonna do this fun little heart shape, and then using my scissors, I can cut that out into whatever. Wow, draw a thing and then ignore it. Yep, that's what we're doing, guys. Okay, so that gives me the 2 layers, which gives me a little bit more rigidity. So the freezer paper, wax side down, 2 layers deep, giving myself, I'm looking to make sure that on my points I'm actually getting enough room on my scrap. Okay. There it is. Okay, then I'm just going to press the iron down on it. And now it will stay right with me. Not going anywhere, earthquake. And we're going to go ahead and cut. And I'm going to give myself a nice seam allowance around the edges. Do you see? The scissors are not pushing me around. They're just cutting exactly where I've asked them to. I really do like micro serrated scissors. They make me happy. Okay, now the reason I chose to do the star is, one, I need a star on the top of this Christmas tree that we are imagining together, and the other is it has some interior pieces. So I'm going to clip almost to the end. See where I've left myself just a little bit of space? And clip it almost to the end, leaving myself just a little bit. Okay? Then my really cool little stiletto friend here. Actually, first my liquid starch, which is not apricot jam. and a nice heavy painting, a good soaking. And on this shape, I probably would do part of it and then come back and do some more, so I really would work it this way. And I like to start on the points. So let's trade places this time, Becky, and see if this guy gives us a better. So I'm going to bring my piece down. Nope, it's still the wrong way. Switch. Okay. This is what I'm trying to do. So see, I've pulled this in, and now I'm laying this over. And I'm just going to put this finger here for a second because you can't see it when the iron's in the way. And see how this wants to create a crease? I'm going to lay it down flat, and then I'm going to lay it down flat, making these little tiny micro pleats right here. Okay, and once I've got them all kind of laid in around that point, I can hold my really long tip right there, and now I can get the iron in there. And there we go. Okay, then this guy right here at the end, I'm putting my tip deep underneath and rocking it all the way forward. So what that's going to give me is, do you see that I still have a couple of threads of my fabric in good place right there? Okay. And that one, I'm going to put my finger on for a second. Pull my stiletto piece back into place and drive right over the top there. Okay, and then from my corner up to my point, bring the point straight down, take that fold and tuck it in, take that fold and tuck it in, take that fold and tuck it in. Come to the other side where this bubble is starting to form, and tuck it in, and tuck it in, etc. Now see how this is not cut? And see how the fabric is trying to pull away? This is the part where we'd need to take a moment and cut it in there. But this gives you the basic idea of how to use this really fun stiletto tool in connection with your liquid starch. Okay. And see this edge that's trying to come away again? We're just gonna tuck it back in. And if it's not staying, just go ahead and put a little bit more starch on it. And now, when we turn it over, we've got this beautiful little curved edge. We've got this clean little edge right here, ready for either hand applique or machine applique. So, as we work our way around, we'll have this really awesome star, and it's going to go on the top of our really cute Christmas tree. It's so adorable. And then again, we're going to use our rickrack to go back and forth on our tree. It's going to be really cute. We'll put up a picture of it later when it actually is a whole real tree. But for now, we have to put it aside and deal with what happens when we spend time with starch on our irons. Welcome to the Bonash Iron Clean, a particular favorite of Marsha's. She's really super excited about it. So we're going to pull out one of these little guys right here, and we're going to lay it on top of our paper towels, which is mostly to protect our board underneath. We're scooting our board way out over the edge. Pretend now that it's like an ironing board, and it made that screechy sound getting put up that iron boards do. According to our directions, we are supposed to wait until the iron is hot on a medium-high setting, which is where we're at, which answers Becky's question earlier of what setting the iron was on. And then we've laid our clean piece on here, and we're gonna scrub. Scrub, scrub, scrub.
Getting browner and browner.
See, we're improving. We're also changing the color of our paper towel. Let's see what happens when we do this. So Bonash, this company, also makes a fusible powder, which is one I've used before. I prefer to finish my quilts with hand stitching, and one quilt in particular, it was a giant, it was a bed-size quilt, and I wanted to work on it in the car, so I used the Bonash fusible powder and sprinkled it on my batting and ironed my backing to it, which kept the backing in place. And then I flipped the whole giant sandwich over and I sprinkled some more Bonash powder, the Fuse It powder, there it is, on the other side of the batting, and I fused my top to it. And then I took that sucker in the car, and while we sat in the car for 24 hours of driving, I stitched and stitched and stitched away. So, there we go. One really dirty piece. This is, you know, a couple of years of crud. You can see it's much improved. I will keep scrubbing and working on it, and you guys are gonna have a minute to talk to Marcia.
Hey everybody, okay, was that not fabulous? Yes. Sandy, thank you very much. I thought she gave you some really excellent tips on one of my favorite things to do is hand applique, because kind of like she said, her being able to take that giant quilt in the car and quilt it, I can take my little pieces with me and have a great time finding things and doing things while I'm just sitting. You know, when Izzy's driving, that's really, I have to tell you, when I normally do this kind of stuff. So, actually, I don't really think he likes me to drive, because we can go on a long trip and he just, I'll say, hey, do you want me to drive? Oh, no, I'm fine. It's like, okay. So, today, folks, we have giveaways. So, Becky, let me grab what we've got here. I'll put my mask down. Okay.
Look, ladies.
Woo-hoo. All right, it's a mystery bag.
And
mystery
gents, there
bag.
could be gents.
Yeah, there could be some gents on here, but I don't know. So here's the deal. What I need you to do is I'm going to give you just a couple more minutes. If you have not signed in and told Sharon your name and where you're from, you need to do it real quick, because I have 3 of these mystery bags, and guys, they are really cool presents, just saying. I've got 3 of these that we're going to give away. So, Sharon, are we getting any new names? No? Okay. Whew, boy, that poor iron. You know, I have to tell you, I gave that to Sandy so that the iron would get cleaned. I know. Wasn't that nice of me, Sandy? It's a whole lot better than it was, I will tell you. Okay, so Sharon, no new names, right?
I got one.
Okay, wait a minute. We got one. One more. All you girls, hang on. We're going to get the name in. Just a sec.
While you're doing the names, let's take a look at our embroidery quilt.
Yes. Oh. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh. We have to tell you, that is Becky's creation. She did such an awesome job, and it is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? Another one? Okay, good. Oh, Becky, that really is beautiful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And do you have a special place for it in your house where you're going to
By
have
the
it?
front door.
Oh, how nice. Oh.
Next to a little 3-foot Santa.
Oh, oh, that's awesome.
Marcia from
Yes. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad we've got other people. Okay, Sharon is writing feverishly over here, guys, I promise. Just as fast as she can. All right, okay. All right, so now, here we go. Let me see who we've got here. All right, so this first person is Terry Summers. Woo! Terry, yay! All right, so there's one. Let's see here. Boy, that iron was filthy, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Our second person is Ann Geyer. Woo! Yay, Ann! And Ann, again, thank you for that cake. We're going to all have some when we're all done here. Last but not least is, let me see, I think Cheryl won before. Here we go. Wait. I'm sorry, guys, they're all stuck. Eileen Roberts. Woo! Okay, so, oh wait, I threw that back in there. I gotta find it. Okay. Well, for goodness, we'll remember. Eileen Roberts. You know what? We're gonna do one more. One more. Hang on here, folks. Hang on here. Well, they're slipping out of my hands. Up! Another Eileen. Eileen Williams. Woo! Okay, so we have 4 folks that are winners today. While I'm thinking about it, let me see. I'm just going to remind. Kelly Brierton, we are so glad I saw you on today. You were on last week. We're so grateful. So here's the deal, Miss Kelly. You need to call the shop, 575-523-2000. And I'm going to have Sharon type that into the comments for our phone number because, Kelly, we need your address so we can send you this adorable little bundle of fabric that you won last week. So please, Kelly, please call us, 575-523-2000. Anyway, guys, just to give you a heads up, we've got some fun things that are going to be happening. We're so excited. Tonight at 6:30 and for the next 12 evenings at 6:30, so it runs through Saturday, December 12th. Mr. and Mrs. Claus are going to be here, and they are going to be doing a Stuff Your Stocking, or 12 Days of Christmas. I know that they've got some really fun stuff that you might want to add to your own stocking or actually purchase for some of your quilting buddies. So please join Mr. and Mrs. Santa this evening at 6:30. That's Mountain Time. And you can join in the fun. So what else? Is there some other things that we can think of? I think that's...
We would like to show you, this is how much we have removed from the iron. Moral of the story is, Marcia, the iron has to be cleaned more often.
Yes, because it's over here. Well, let's look at it. Now,
It's getting there.
It's getting there, guys. I mean, here's the thing. We use a lot of our fusible web, and so what happens is, it does get nasty. So, and then last but not least, I want you all to, if you have kiddos or people who have not sewn much, we are actually having a pillowcase class next Saturday. That is December 12th. And our very own Sandy is going to be teaching that class. Now, here's the deal. It comes with a pillowcase kit.
Which means you have to tell us that you want to do it, or you're not going to have a kit because it has to get to you, right?
Yeah, so here's the deal. If you know anybody that maybe they're beginner sewers, they're just dipping their toe in the sewing world, this is an absolutely fabulous class for anybody who is a beginner. And we're taking kids and everybody.
Right, and if you just want to encourage a young person to make gifts for the holiday season because they're driving you crazy, so you get one kit and then they figure out how to do that, and then you gently suggest how many cousins, uncles, aunts, nieces, neighbors, etc. need pillowcases, and you just keep them going.
Oh, that is a really good idea. So, if you all would like, or know somebody that would like to join us, Sharon, that is online, is it not? That class is in our online store. You are able to go and sign up. And when you do, we need to know. So, like Sandy said, we can get you a pillowcase kit sent your way. So, is there anything else, guys? Becky, can you think of anything? All right. Well, I'm going to, we're going to call it quits right now, so Sandy can finish cleaning that poor iron. And I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day, and be sure and join us this evening at 6:30 and see what fun things Mr. and Mrs. Claus have for you guys. So have a great afternoon, and we'll see you at 6:30.